Okay, so first off, Jenny is on, but I wanted to go over a couple things real quick. Who actually, Jenny was the one who pretty much came up with this. So I introduced that whole fall launch thing to my team, and we're doing a whole thing. You have to comment hashtag fall launch, like 1 if they've booked 1 past host, and 2 if they've booked 2 past hosts, like the whole ordeal.
I like that.
Yes, I love it. And okay, you guys, she keeps saying that I came up with it, but she's the one, the words came out of her mouth. Like, we're just going to agree to this.
You started the whole thing. You started the whole thing. So.
Well, it was just a competition between me and her that turned into gold is what it was. But so if anybody hasn't seen that post in our team page, make sure, hold on, I'm going to change this to where I can see everybody at one time. Okay. Make sure to go back and check out that post. If you guys didn't see it and want me to tag you in it, let me know and I will do so. But basically the gist of it is if you guys don't have all the bookings you want for the first week of September, reach out to your past hosts because you can reach out to them. I'll actually read you the words that someone came up with. So I would say reach out to, you could probably go even as far back as April, but you'll want to do it like recently because if you guys are going to reach out to hosts farther back, then I say why not just throw a brand new party instead of doing this VIP link. So this is what I'm reaching out to. And honestly, you guys, I made the list of all my past hosts and I didn't even get halfway through the list because so many people said yes. And I'm like, I don't know if I can handle all these yeses. So I stopped messaging people. So I reached out and I said, hey girl, so we have brand new products launching September 1st. And even though you have recently had a party, how would you like me to open a link back up in your party group specifically for your guests and let them know that they are getting a sneak peek at new products the day before they launch and then have the opportunity to be the first ones to purchase fall products. If anyone wants to order, great. If not, no big deal. I would do 1 day of posting the new products and that's it. What do you think? Worth a shot? And I'm telling you guys, like most people, like I've gotten a few no's, but that's okay because you all know by now, go for no. If you're not hearing no enough, you're not talking to enough people. But most of them just straight out say yes or sign me up or all of these things. And so make the list of your past hosts and start doing those messages because we're having that meeting on Monday evening to go over all the details on how we are going to properly execute this amazing, amazing thing that someone came up with. So with that being said though, I want to introduce Jenny because she is amazing. We met, gosh, how did we meet? Did we meet through Lead or did we meet through?
Yeah, we met because I like kind of stalked you a little bit. You were speaking during one of the Lead Plus, video conferences that we had. And I was like, oh my God, that girl is amazing. I have to message her on Facebook. And then I sat back and I was like, is she gonna accept my request? And is she gonna respond to me? Because I was totally starstruck when you were speaking during Lead.
Oh my gosh. Stop it.
So that was pretty cool.
And then we finally officially got to meet in Hawaii because Jenny also earned the elite trip to Hawaii this last year. So we got to have some fun at the elite dinner together. And oh my gosh, you guys, like, you guys want to earn these trips. They spoil us. It is so much fun. And like, I have goosebumps right now just thinking about it. Like, it was just so much fun. And you get to meet all these people that you connect with. Like, most of you I've never met in real life, but I feel like we've met in real life because we're always on here. Like I said, you guys see my Zoom addiction. I would so much rather be on Zoom than a phone call. Like, I just love it. But anyway, so Jenny blows me away each month because she always has her schedule full. I mean, what's your typical month in sales?
So it's funny. I mean,
not including summer because we all know how summer is.
Not including what?
Not including summer because we all know how summer can kind of be.
Summer's the worst. So for the longest time, I had my goal set in my head that my sales needed to be $6,000 per month. because I had gone for elite seller status and I got that. And then to get elite seller every month, you have to have 6,000 in sales. So my goal was 6,000 in sales, and that's about what I did. And then I was like, what am I doing? Why am I limiting myself and leaving my goal at 6,000? So I bumped it up. And now my goal is to get to 6,000 by the 15th of the month. And so a typical month for me now is somewhere between 8,000 and 10,000 in sales, which is not too bad. It works.
Not too bad. Oh my gosh. You're ridiculous. My entire team is probably shaking their heads. If anybody would turn their camera on, let's see faces, people.
What are these faces?
I don't know. They could, honestly, there might be some people listening at work and all the other things.
Oh, there's some more people.
Thank you.
See me on here.
What?
It makes me feel so much better
You
when I
see me on here.
Yes, Vanessa,
Yeah, we see
I can see you.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We've got Lisa, Lindsay, Vanessa, and Charlie with their cameras on.
these are your brave ones.
The brave ones. But so
Usually when I do a Zoom, I have like one person who's on the camera. Nobody wants to be on the camera.
I call people out. It's cool. You guys love me anyway, right? So what Jenny was talking about, like having 6,000 by the 15th, like that right there just blows my mind, you guys. Like I've been struggling with sales, I will be honest, but I know that summer can be like this. And they all know, like I'm super real and raw with my team. Like they know I've struggled through the summer with some personal stuff and all the other things. And I've tried to be as present as possible. And I feel like I've accomplished most of it. But sometimes our life gets hectic or crazy and we don't account for those times that it might not be the best business. So that's what happened to me over the summer. But this fall, like after conference and talking to like Steve and Kristen and hearing Cami Cruz's numbers each month, like that girl is like, no,
I want to be her when I grow up. That's insane.
Right? I want to be her when I'm older. But with Jenny, she taught me, and I don't know why I didn't like, it's almost like, oh, that makes total sense. Talk to my team about what you mean by like front loading your calendar.
Okay, so you guys know, I'm sure, how sort of our paychecks work, right? So for any parties that you submit between the 1st and the 15th of the month, you get that paycheck on the 21st of the month. And then for any parties that you submit from the 16th to the end of the month, that's your second paycheck, and that comes at the beginning of the following month on the 7th. So I always front load the first half of the month, right? Especially my first week. And here's why. If you have a team, whether you're a director or even if you're a team leader or a senior consultant, all those overrides that you earn from your team are going to be in that second paycheck. Your first paycheck is just your commission. No activity bonuses, no overrides, no extra stuff goes in there. So my first paycheck of the month is all on me. And so I make sure to book that first week of the month, and then a little bit to the same degree the second week of the month heavy, so that I'm sure to get that nice commission check. It also gives you time in the month for reschedules. I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of those, right? So I'm sending the host a message, hey, your party is set up, ready to go, blah, blah, blah. Here's how you add your guests. And I walk them through how to add the guests. And then it's crickets. And I'm like, okay. So the next day I send them another little reminder, hey, don't forget to get those guests in there. And I'm still not hearing anything, and I'm not seeing any guests being added. So then I'll say something like, hey, I haven't really heard back from you. Is this still a good week for you to host? And then they're going to give me whatever song and dance reason why this is not a good week. And now I still have those 3 weeks left in the month where I can push those people. So if the bulk of my parties are set up for the beginning, I have room to move people around if I need to. So that's my logic there.
And I love it. And honestly, like, I know how the pay structure works. And I'm like, gosh, it makes so much sense. But like, I was always just so concerned about filling my schedule that if you think about it, when you front load like that, you could set yourself up to fill the rest of your September or whatever month it is, and then continue to fill into October or November, because we all know that not everybody who we talk to is going to book right then and there when we want them to. I mean, I have people who book out like to January, like currently. They're like, no, you know, after the holidays. And so, which doesn't make sense in my head because the holidays are the best time to buy a Pampered Chef. But so there is that chance that, you know, everybody that you talk to won't book right off the bat. But
right. And the other thing with that too is that it really takes the pressure off of you, right? Because then you're not here at the 29th, 30th, 31st of the month going, oh my God, I don't have anything submitted. I'm not going to make any money. I'm not getting a commission check. The pressure is off. As a matter of fact, I had absolutely nothing booked for next week on purpose because I'd filled the early weeks of the month and I was going to just kind of lay low next week and work on my new template and work on some stuff with my team and not host any parties. And part of my thinking was I would kind of keep quiet a little bit on Facebook because I'm so scared of going back to Facebook. You know what? I was in there for the entire month of June, literally from June 5th until forever.
But tell them
okay.
during your sentence, when you were locked up, how much did you do in sales that month?
I don't know. I told you. Did you write it down? Because I don't remember.
It was like still like $8,000 or $9,000, you guys.
Yeah, it was actually really good. The sales were good because you can work around it. You figure it out. And we actually, June was when we met our first month qualification to become an executive team. So it's not, if any of you are in, I don't even want to say it, but if you are locked up right now, it's not a deal breaker. It's not business ending. You can work around it. It's just a giant pain in the neck. So my idea was to take off the last week of August and just sort of lay low and let my Facebook profile, whatever, however it all works. And then, of course, Danny had to come up with this brilliant idea about having this little sneak peek. And she challenged me, and I couldn't resist the challenge. And you know what, you guys, she asked me to come on tonight and talk about bookings, but I have to be completely honest with you. She's kicking my butt in this challenge. Every time I think I'm catching up, she's like, oh no, I got 2 more. Oh, I got this one. So she should probably be telling you guys what to do about booking, but
it's only because I'm competitive. But that's what's fun is because when I get that, like, I don't want to lose mentality, I'm like, okay, game on. And then I'm like out there and I'm like doing things that I probably wouldn't normally do, but it gets results, you guys, like the fire, the passion, and all of that. So talking about that, I kind of wanted to ask Jenny, like, how do you typically go about booking parties from your parties?
Okay. So that's key, you guys, because I don't know about you, but I can't stand scrambling to try to find parties. When somebody talks about green dotting, which I tell my team to do all the time, I'm like, oh my God, I hope I never have to green dot ever again. And not because it's difficult and not because it's not effective, right? It's actually really easy and it works, but I get so irritated by the amount of people that just don't respond. And I'm like, you guys are supposed to be my friends and you're just ignoring my message and it hurts my feelings and whatever. I move on from it, but I don't like green dotting if I can help it. So really the idea is to book your parties from your parties. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you let your host know early on that you're going to be enlisting their help in booking these parties and let them know what's at stake for them, right? So if they book a party, then they're going to get a 50% off item from that person's party once it qualifies. And that's really great. If they have a big wish list, if let's say they're hosting right now in August and you want to be like, hey, listen, this amazing new cooking blender's coming out. Let me show you a little sneak peek of it. You could get a half price if somebody books off your party, right? So let them know what's at stake. I don't know if you guys do this. Do you give your hosts a free gift if they get a certain amount of bookings? Anybody do that? Yeah, cool. Yeah, so we give our host a free gift if they get 3 bookings, and I use the little graphic that's just a little present with the 3 bows on it, and then as the parties get booked, 1 bow is removed, blah blah blah, and then they get a little prize for that. I don't give something huge. I used to give bigger prizes. I used to give like $20 or $25 prizes. Turns out they're really happy with like a paring knife set or a straw set or the nylon knife. Like you can get away with giving a prize that's under 10 bucks. Some people say, that those 3 bookings have to qualify before the host gets that free gift. I don't do that. Number 1, I don't want to keep track of who's do we need to like figure out, did you get the 3 parties qualified, whatever. And number 2, I asked them to get me 3 bookings. I didn't ask them to get me 3 qualified parties. That's my job to make sure those parties qualify. So here's the biggest perk of that. The host gets the 3 bookings. You put it on their host order. Now it's at least 20% off, right? Or maybe 30% off, depending on how their party was. And it's done, right? Good. So that's number 1. Let your host know about that right away. Now, are all your hosts going to be like crazy go-getters that are going to be reaching out to everybody for bookings? Probably not. So here's my biggest tip. If you guys are not using a Google form in your party, you are totally missing the boat. When I started using that, it was a total game changer. And that's when I started booking parties for my parties. I would say 95% of my bookings come from that Google form. It's short, it's sweet. It takes them like 2 minutes to fill out a book form, a Google form. I'll send my Google form to Danny. She can post it and you guys can take a look at the questions that I ask, but literally it's their name, it's their email address, it's their cell phone number, whose party did they attend, because I'm using the same Google form for every single party, and I want to know who their host was. And then the key questions are you interested in hosting a fun Facebook party? Yes, no, or maybe. And are you interested in more information about being a consultant? Yes, no, or maybe. And that's really it. Every single person that fills out the Google form gets a private message from me. But let me back up and tell you when I post this and what I say with it. My parties officially start on a Monday, and I post my Google form on Wednesday, right? So we start off the day with the Google form, and I let them know everyone who fills it out is going to be entered to win a prize, and I'm going to pick that prize winner on Friday. And then I remind them over the next couple of days, hey, if you didn't fill out that Google form, make sure you do. Anyone who places an order, I send them a little private message thanking them for their order, giving them a recipe, and saying, hey, don't forget to fill out that Google form, and I give them the link again. Usually on Thursday, I'll do one of those guessing games, guess how many M&Ms are in the pancake bottle, whatever, and they'll get 1 guess, but they'll get 2 guesses if they filled out my Google form. So I'm really pushing for people to fill out that survey. And then, like I said, everybody gets a private message from me after the form is filled out. If it's a yes that they want to host, that's super easy. So, hey, thanks so much for filling out the Google form. I saw that you want to host. Let's pick a date. Is September or October better for you, or whenever you're trying to book? That starts that one. If it's a maybe, which most of them are, not more people say maybe than say yes, and that's fine. I treat a maybe as a yes. So the message that they get is, hey, thanks so much for filling out the Google form. I saw that you might be interested in hosting. Yay, I would love to do a party for you. Would August or September be better for you? I'm not saying, do you want to? Did you think about it? How can I turn your maybe into a yes? I'm treating it like it was a yes. And then for the no's, they get a message too that says, hey, thanks so much for filling out my survey. You're entered to win the prize. I saw that you answered no to hosting a party, but I just wanted to let you know that we have some amazing host rewards coming up. And if you booked so-and-so, whoever the host, Danny, would get a bonus. What do you think about giving it a try? Right? And then we see where that goes. And typically I can get, 1 or 2 people from each party to turn that no into a yes. So that is my number 1 tip for you guys on bookings. Make sure you're using that form. It'll be a game changer if you're not using it already. The other thing, what was the other thing I want to tell you? Oh, so when you're wrapping up the party, Google form. So when you're wrapping up the party, when I'm on the last day and I'm talking to my hosts about getting their order in, finalizing their party, and I do this all in a group private message. I put all my hosts together in a private message. So one of the last things I say to them is, hey, by the way, before I forget, trying to think of exactly what the wording is. I want to give it to you guys right. See if I can find it. Yeah, it's right here. Hold on, I'm scrolling down. So,
are you willing to share the words that you use for that
of course.
Google form? And then, because I even just learned something, I think I need to switch the way I do some of my wording on my Google form.
Okay.
But the words that you reach out for the yeses, the nos, and the maybes. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I can give you that too. So here's what I say in my group PM to my hosts on the last day. I say, okay, everyone, let me know when your orders are all set and we can close out. One more thing, if you rebook your own party now, I'll give you an extra half price bonus item when that party qualifies. We can book it for 6 or even 12 months out. Okay, so I'm coming back to the video. There you guys are. So you're asking every host to rebook. You're telling them that they're going to get an extra half price item at their party when it happens. That extra half price item is the future party pick. So they qualify for that already, but that's what you're offering for them. And I would say about half of my hosts take me up on that and they rebook. You guys, my first week in November, I have 12 parties booked already from people in the spring who hosted and were like, oh yeah, I want to get myself a bonus. I'm going to do that. Let's do it right before the holidays. And like November's practically full. So ask every host about rebooking. That's a big one.
I love it.
So those are my big ones. What else? If you're really looking for, you know, if you don't have any parties going and you're looking for bookings, I felt like my September was a little lower than I wanted it to be. So I started reaching out to my early on hosts, the ones from my first year of business, and then just started working my way through and just saying something as simple as, you know, hey, Danny, it's been quite a while since you had your last Pampered Chef party. We have some crazy, amazing products coming out in September. How do you feel about hosting again? That's it. And again, you're going to have to reach out to a lot, and some of them are going to ignore you, and some of them are going to say no for whatever reason, but you're going to get some yeses. I think I reached out to 20 the other day, and I got 2 or 3 yeses, and that's great. I'm happy. Those are 2 or 3 bookings that I didn't have before that. So that's another way. And then, of course, customer care. I'm terrible. I'm probably the worst Pampered Chef consultant ever when it comes to customer care. But reach out to those, yours, that's it. Yay, I knew I loved you. We're the same. We're the same. Reach out to those old customers. You know, hey, Danny, I just wanted to check in to see how you're enjoying those products from Esther's party. Do you have any questions? Do you need any recipes? How's everything going with your products? Don't jump right into the whole booking thing. Ask them first how they're enjoying their products. Do they need something? How can you be helpful to them? And then after they respond, you can go into, you're going to answer whatever their question was, obviously, and then go into, hey, listen, I just want to give you a heads up that our new products come out next month. I can send you a host flyer if you want, and maybe you're interested in hosting a party of your own, whatever your wording is. And you guys, when it comes to wording, the biggest piece of advice I can give you there is just be yourself, right? I mean, I can always tell when a direct salesperson is just like copy and pasting me wording that somebody else gave them, because it doesn't sound natural. It doesn't sound genuine. It sounds like a script. Don't sound like a script. Even if Danny gives you wording, change it up and make it sound like you, right? Don't say, hey girl, if you're not a person who says, hey girl. Danny says, hey girl. When she says it to me in a text, I can hear her in my head saying it because that's Danny. But, you know, Vicky, you might not say that. And so don't say it. You know what I mean? So just make everything sound like you. And because otherwise people will see right through that.
I love it. I love it. So for like, what kind of pieces of advice would you have for, say, new consultants who are pretty new, who don't have those like past hosts to reach out to? I typically tell new team members, like, make a list of like 10 to 20 people. And at first, like, the 10 to 20 can be intimidating, especially if you're brand new and you're like, I don't have a ton of people to reach out to. But if you tell me you don't have 10 to 20 people to reach out to, and I look at your Facebook and you have over 200 friends, nope. Nope, not an excuse. So
So make that list of 10 or 20 people, because those are going to be sort of like your top people. Those people that come to mind first are the ones that you're going to think are the most likely to do this or are the most likely to support you. But don't discount those other 190 people that are friends with you on Facebook, because you never know. I have been totally surprised sometimes by people who have either booked parties with me or placed orders, and I'm like, you really? I never in a million years. So if you have made your list, and maybe you do a Frank's list too. You guys have heard of the Frank's list?
I don't, I haven't mentioned the Frank's list. I think I have once, but it would be a refresher for everybody if you mentioned it.
So the Frank's list is, you want to come up with like at least 10 in each category, and it's friends. The weather radio is going off. Can you guys hear that in the background? I don't know what that means. Okay,
Weather radio?
Yeah, we have a weather. My husband's a fisherman, so we have a weather radio, and when there's like severe weather coming, it lets us know. So hopefully it's not coming right now. Okay, so Frank's list: friends, relatives, associates or something, maybe acquaintances, friends, relatives, let's say acquaintances, neighbors, kids, right? So obviously you're not asking your kids, but your kids' friends' parents, your kids' teachers, your kids' dance center, your kids' soccer coach, whatever. So kids, and then the S is for spouse, right? So your spouse's coworkers, your spouse's friends, your spouse's friends' wives, so on and so forth. So you want to come up with 10 people in each of those categories. But going back to the 200 friends on Facebook, literally go through them and send a message to each person. Start with the A's. Do all the A's today. Message those people. Hey, I don't know if you saw, but I recently joined the Pampered Chef. I'm super excited about getting my business started. I need a couple of friends to help me out. I kind of need to practice doing my Facebook parties. Would you be willing to be one of my first hosts? Whatever. And then the next day, go to the B's and then the C's and go through all those people. Like I said, I've been totally blown away sometimes by the people who are like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. Doesn't hurt to ask. The answer is always no if you don't ask the question.
Yep. And I will say that wording, so like Jenny said, like be authentic to you. And even if I do give you words, like she said, like switch them up if you don't feel like it's authentic to you. But when wording things, it's very important to word them in a way that they don't feel like they're being pressured or like you're all of a sudden just like messaging them out of the blue and it's like word vomit. I used to be the biggest word vomiter on the planet, and Kristen helped me with that. Like at one point, I think she probably sat me down and was like, girl, you are saying too much. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, help. And so she helped me. And then she probably got sick of me because I will be honest, you guys, and this is why I tell all of you, like, blow my phone up. I don't care, because in my first 3 months of business, the reason I got to where I was because I utilized my team leaders. I utilized Wesley. I utilized Kristen. I probably used and abused them way too much, but they helped me and they guided me and they molded me into this little thing that I'm like,
Best director.
I was like, I would not be where I am today without you. Like, I literally sent a message to Kristen this morning that told her how thankful I was, because I sat there and was like, I would not be where I am today if you had not guided me in this direction. So don't ever feel like you can't reach out, because even if you're like, I've asked her this question like a million times, or I feel like I'm just like annoying her. You're not, you guys. Like, this is how we learn, and this is how we grow, and this is how we build your team and your structure and your future with this business. So 100%, like, I cannot say it enough. Screenshot me, because I don't know what you're struggling with unless I see what is happening. So I love everything that you just said. Some of it was new. Some of it was probably stuff that my consultants have heard from me, but I love when other people come on and like reiterate what we're seeing, because sometimes it takes hearing it from another person for it to click, or even be like, okay, well, I've heard that so many times from Kristen. Does it really work? Because it's not working for me. oh, well, it's working for a lot of other people too, so maybe I should give it another shot. So I just love it. I do have a booking. Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. One more thing, because I have scripts for bookings for like new consultants, booking off of parties.
Awesome.
And the other person, or like the other people too. But what about booking objections? Because I know you probably run into so many booking objections, like even if it's just a flat out no, like what do you say to a no? If somebody says, oh, I really don't have the time right now, or oh, I'm just too busy for that. Like, how do you work around that objection? And how many people, like, what do you think your statistics are on overcoming?
On flipping them?
Yeah.
I'd say they're pretty decent. Maybe 50% or something like that. So what you want to say when somebody has an objection is first you want to sort of give some validity to what they're saying and say something like, I'm really glad that you shared that with me. You wouldn't be the first person to have that concern, and I'm sure you won't be the last. So if, I'm trying to think of one. So if feeling like, not having enough friends to invite wasn't an issue, do you think hosting would be something that would be fun for you? Right? And then they're either going to say yes or no. If they say no, hosting is not going to be fun for them, then you're pretty much done with that person, right? You're not going to change their mind. And you say, thanks so much for being honest with me. I just wanted to be sure that I asked. But if they say that if whatever their concern is wasn't a concern, this is something that they would want to do, then you're going to work with them on that, right? So you're going to say, you know what, I'm really glad that you shared that with me, and I promise to partner with you to ensure that you have enough people in your party to ensure its success, right? And then you're going to work with them on how to get people in their party. Or if their concern is that their friends don't have any money, I'm really glad that you shared that concern with me. If you weren't worried about how much your friends were willing to spend, would hosting a party with me be fun for you? And then they say, yeah, I think it would. And then you say, listen, it's my job to kind of show the products and make it a fun party. And if your friends order, great. And if they don't, there was no harm in trying, right? So just sort of calming their fears and showing them that it's not really a big deal and that we can get around it. Now, if they're too busy, you can say something like, oh my gosh, I hope it's something really fun that you have coming up. Oh yeah, my kid's getting married next month. Oh, that's super exciting, blah, blah, blah. How would you feel about me following up with you in October, right? Like, don't just drop it and let them off the hook. See if there's a potential for a follow-up there, and then write down a note to yourself to follow up with them in a couple of months.
I love that. Do you see how she says keep a list?
I feel like I have lists everywhere.
Gosh, it can be awful. I just recently got hooked on like Google Sheets because before I was like, honestly, I had no idea how to set them up, and that's why I was like, no.
What the heck is Google Sheets? There's a Google Sheets. I just started using Google Tasks.
Oh,
I love Google Tasks.
Gosh, woman, we're gonna have to talk.
Really?
Yes.
All right.
Google
Writing
Sheets.
a note.
Yes.
I'm like new to all. I thought Google Forms was the only thing, and I'm like, yay, my Google survey, yay, that's it. And now, like, I'm discovering Google Calendar and Google Tasks, and now I guess I have to check out Google.
I do. Well, I can. So that was one thing that I was going to share. I've shared it with my team before, but I can share it right now as far as Google Sheets. Because how do you track your parties then, woman? Do you just write all your stuff down?
I show you. I made a Google Sheet. I don't know. I made a sheet. I'll show you what I do. Let me get my most current one.
So what I will show all of you right now, I can't remember if on the last call or whenever I shared this Google tracker, what all I have changed since then, because I keep track of every single person who has joined over here in this column.
Literally taking a picture of this sheet right now.
I'll share the template with you.
Share it with me. Share it with me, because look, I'm pretty much doing the same thing on a piece of paper that I printed out, and I have a notebook. I mean, and that works too, obviously, but this is really cool.
And this is so much less time consuming because I can literally sit at my computer, pull up my parties on my phone, pull up the guest list, update the guest list because, throughout the parties, you guys, you'll have new people join and all of that. So you want to keep track of them all. So I do gifts throughout my party. You guys all pretty much know that because of my template that I've shared with you. But I give gifts to anybody who spends $75 or more before the party starts. And gift is like a $3 paring knife, you guys, or a season's best, whatever you want to do. I keep track of what they win because at the end of my party, I don't want to have to go and scroll back through the party and find out who won the guessing games, who won the raffles, who did all this. It's right here at the end of the party. I can literally either pull this up on my phone or my computer and be on the opposite, the phone or the computer, and be adding these gifts to people's orders. Like, these systems and trackers are just time savers for you. So I can share my original template for this to anybody. It's telling me my internet's unstable, so if I go blurry, let me know. So this just saves so much time. So I mark down if anybody does a wish list, because if somebody submits a wish list, you guys, that is going to be someone you want to book a party with because they already have stuff that they want. So reach out to them and tell them that you want to help them get that wish list for free or discounted or all of the above. Hold on, the chat bar is flashing. Is this form in our group? I don't think I have shared this in our group, and I will. So after this call, I will share this in our group, Lindsay. And then here, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
So I also do the early bird raffle. So anybody who comments going before the party starts, which you guys, if you're not doing this, even if you're not going to give a gift, if you want to give a bonus 25 raffle tickets, if you guys just want to do one party prize, do that. But do the early bird raffle for raffle tickets, because I will tell you guys, I am huge on Facebook algorithms. You guys already know this. But when you have people engaging and commenting before your party even starts, you will get so much more activity. People will get so much more of your party posted on their timeline without even having to go to the party. So the more engaged your party is before it even starts, the better your party is going to be throughout. And so I really, really amp it up every single day before the party starts. Comment going to be entered to win. Comment going to be entered to win. And as they comment, I just come in here and I do this. And it's like Tuesday night, I just go through, scroll through, see who's commented going, click, 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 click. And then by Tuesday night, I can come in here and you guys, I don't do the raffle. I pick someone. Ain't nobody got time for a raffle, you guys. Everybody does it. And then I come in here, and if they've placed an order, I keep track of it. And I also just recently added this column to do how much they ordered. And this helps me in more ways than one. Down here, it'll show the total of their party. Because if you come in here and see that someone has spent $55, you can reach out to that person and be like, hey, did you know that you're only $20 away from the special this month? Would you like to add such and such? Cross-sell a product. If somebody has, I'll just go off of somebody that I recently talked to about this. They had the waffle stick pan and a couple other items. I was like, hey, you're only $27 away. How about we add the chef's baster brush with the mixing, something that helped pour the stuff into it. Just random things that could upsell what they're doing. And then you could get them to that $75 thing. If they're not up for it, if they're like, oh, I really can't afford it, go for the booking. There's products out there that they would like to have, but they cannot afford it. Reach out and say, oh, well, how would you like to get it for free at your very own party? I can help spoil you with free gifts just like Tabitha is doing at her party right now. And so there's another way to get a booking. But also, this helps me not have to go back and forth between my party page on our website, because I'm sorry, I don't have time to scroll through each and every one to see how much someone's ordered, all that other stuff. I just want to look here and be like, okay, Emily ordered $23. Oh, Lynn ordered $75. That is super helpful for me. And then I mark right here if they've booked a party, because just recently I've started keeping track of my hosts. So when I go to plug these people into my host tracker, I have a spot where it says who they booked from so that at their party, I can reach out to the person who is the past host and get another order onto that party. And granted, we don't get commissions off of their 50% off item from any future party, but it helps our current hosts get to their next level of rewards, which is probably, you're fine, which is probably going to also help them rebook with us again because we helped them with their party. Now, I don't send booking messages to anybody that has not accepted my friend request. I don't want to get Facebook jailed. Like, you guys, they can shut you down on Messenger for sending too many messages to people you're not friends with. I learned the hard way. So I come in here, and if somebody's accepted my request, it's easy to go into your business page, into your group, switch to interacting as yourself, and go in and see who's accepted your friend request. And right here, I've clicked, clearly I haven't done any booking messages, which is shame on me because I usually send them by now. But if I have sent a message, I've clicked the box, and then as people start accepting my friend request again or more, I can go in and be like, okay, here's the people that just accepted. I need to send them a message, and I click it. And then it also helps me realize, oh, well, I haven't booked a party with this person I sent a message to because they're not marked off on a party booked. And then I go back and check in with them. So these are just ways to help you keep track of that all from your computer, and it's a click and you can type and you don't have to write it, because I was totally one that kept track of everything in a notepad and paper. And if you're still that person, that's great. Like, go for it. Be you. Charlie's like, I hate you right now because you're making me seem stupid. But I am willing to share my basic tracker, you guys. Like, I have it's a master tracker. I don't really know how else to call it, but I can share it. And then when I share it, it will just be viewable. You can't edit it, because if you edit it, then it edits it on my side, but you can make a copy and just turn that into your master tracker. And then every week you can come in here and hit File, New, and label it with your host. And then you have all these trackers every single week. And you don't have to search for past host papers anymore because it's all in one file on Google.
Yay!
Yes. So that is also what's been helping me stay focused on bookings, because before I'm like, I don't remember who I've messaged. I don't know who I'm talking to. I hated scrolling back through my message feed, because honestly, if you guys are doing all the things that we're telling you to do by reaching out to all these people and doing all the things, you're never going to remember all these people. And I still find messages from people back when I was like first started and I had done green dotting, which I am just like Jenny. If I have to green dot, I am beating myself in the forehead with my phone. Like, why did I let myself get to this point? Because we should be able to, with even just a few parties on our calendar, continue to fill each and every month off of those parties. We will have dud parties. We will have parties that we can't book anything off of. But that's why I also overbook, which I know you guys probably hate hearing me say, but I overbook my calendar because you have to account for the people who cancel, the people who ghost you, the people who postpone, all of those things. Like, I would so much rather someone postpone than cancel, but I don't get what I want all the time. So there's that. It is not a perfect world. So there's that. Is that super helpful for you guys? I feel like I've shared this, but I don't remember where I've shared it. It might have been in a different meeting.
I think it was in a previous meeting.
Okay, it might be part of the
showing it, but I don't think you ever shared it.
Okay, so yes, I will share this in our full team page so that everybody can utilize it.
Send it to me too.
I will. I promise. If I don't, remind me.
Oh, I will.
Remind me. But I'm also going to share something. So we already have something in our team page, you guys, if I can figure out what I'm doing on my computer. So Kristen recently shared with us words that she uses for overcoming bookings. And I already have that in the team page, but I'll make sure that I post these in like a unit on our page. So in the announcements on our page, because it was just recently, I posted let me get there. It's a file of Kristen's words that she uses for overcoming booking objections. They're great if you're not, like, I honestly open it, print it, keep it by your computer, keep it wherever you sit and work. I know some of us work from everywhere because that's the perks of working this business. But it is in here. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm getting there. I promise. You're gonna have to let me know if you can see it though. This Mac computer, like if I open something on a different screen, can you guys still see that? Does it say overcoming common booking objections on your screen? No, that's what I'm saying. Okay, hold on. Stop the share, and then I have to share again because Macs are weird because it's a new program. Okay, can you guys see that? Over.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, perfect. So it kind of loaded weird because I think I have open office. It's not Microsoft. So these are great ways to overcome common booking objections. I still really want your booking objection words, Jenny, because I loved what you put at the beginning. I love that you shared that with me. I love that. I'm going to start using that.
There you go.
So these are great ways to, like, if you're doing in-home shows, if someone says, my house is too small, I understand how you feel. Just like Jenny said, validate their feelings. Because if you go into, say, somebody tells me, well, I just don't have enough friends. And I say, oh, that's silly. You have so many Facebook friends. Like, let's just do it. They're going to be like, no, you're super pushy and I don't like that. Like, that's what I would say. I'd be like, nope, not my cup of tea. So if you sympathize with them and be like, just like Jenny said, you're not the first person to tell me that, and you might actually be surprised at how great your party may do. You just never know who on your friends list might want some Pampered Chef, or maybe they're looking for a gift for a loved one. And I always say, like, I've had parties that people are like, oh, I just don't think my friends would buy anything. And I overcame the objection, and they had like $1,000 party, and they're like, whoa. So like, you can give examples of past hosts, but do it in a way that's sympathetic and that you understand where they're coming from. Because if you just be like, well, I'm right and you're wrong, they're not going to book with you, and you probably won't be Facebook friends anymore, to be completely honest. But there are so many overcoming all of it on here because Kristen is Kristen and she's amazing and untouchable. I also have, once again, I'm going to have to stop screen share and then screen share again. You guys, Macs are weird. I love my Mac, but it is weird. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Let me get there, guys. I'm getting there. I have just a few. I would love if Jenny would share her scripts for how she gets bookings. Now let me see if I can pull this up. Sorry for the lull, you guys. Okay. Can you see that? Scripts for bookings?
Yep. Yes,
perfect. Okay, so these are words that I use just recently. I updated this because I used to be the one that would send out the, like, this is what my message used to say at start, and then it had more on it. But once again, I was a word vomiter, and just because it worked for me occasionally, it was like my statistics on booking a party with how many people I was reaching out to with those words weren't the best. So this won't be new for most of you, but for some of you who are brand new consultants who are probably going to be rewatching this meeting, like, hey, I just wanted to reach out and personally thank you for participating in Susie's Pampered Chef Party. I'm having so much fun with you all. Are you enjoying the party so far? Nothing about the business, nothing about a party. You just want to know how their experience is, because if we ask them for a booking and they're not having fun, they're going to immediately say no, but we aren't going to know why they say no. So even if, I mean, most of the time, you guys, I get people say, oh my gosh, this is the best party ever. Like, the interaction's great. I love all the games. It's so much fun. But there is on occasion where people are like, yeah, no, I haven't even like looked at the party, which is fine, because I can say, usually, because I'm sending this out day 1 or 2 of the party, I can usually say, oh, no worries, there's still 2 days left of the party. Why don't you go back, scroll on it, or scroll down the party, click on the games, have some fun, and I'll check back in just a few days. And most of the time they're like, okay, perfect, great. So it gets the conversation going. And Facebook algorithms, you guys, as you are talking to people on Facebook Messenger, Facebook knows, oh, you're connected with this person. I'm going to put your posts in this person's newsfeed. Yay. I love Facebook algorithms sometimes. They are our worst enemy, but our best friend at times. So I have all of these. I've got a couple green dotting messages, repeat hosts, and then for brand new consultants, honestly, like if you're a brand new consultant, or even if you have someone, this is going to go into recruiting and totally off topic, but if you have someone who's like, I don't know enough people, or I don't know how I would even do this business, like, I will be honest, you guys, in the last couple of weeks, I've actually been telling people, I'm like, if you are interested in this business and you would like to see how well you could do, granted, this could be beneficial or it could bite you in the butt, I'll be honest. Because if somebody reaches out to all these people when you tell them to and they don't get anybody who responds, they probably won't sign up. But for me, when I have people who are like on the fence, I'm like, you know what, why don't we do this? I'm going to give you a message to send to 10 to 20 people. Even if you get one yes, that is one person who will host a party for you, who will have 20 to 30 people who could potentially be your new parties. And I'm going to help you every step of the way. And I'm going to help you hit all your goals and do all the things. I'm not going to sign you up and leave you. I'm literally here holding your hand the entire way, whether it's a month from now or 10 years from now when we're both still killing it with this business. So like I said, totally off topic, but you guys know me, that happens. So I have all of these. So I am going to post this and the overcoming booking objections, and then I'm going to get all of Jenny's brilliantness on paper and share that, and all the things. So let me stop sharing. Who here learned something? I only have 2 faces. Oh, 3 faces. Yay. Yay. We all learned something. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Everybody on the call probably learned something. I can't tell the no faces if they learned anything, but they'll probably comment. So does anybody, before Jenny hops off or anything, or before we end the call, because it's coming up on 7, does anybody have questions? Because I told you guys, write questions down before the meeting, write questions down during the meeting, like all your guys' questions we want to answer. Because, okay, Charlie, go ahead. Can you unmute yourself? Okay, perfect.
Okay. Sorry. I have a few people that have answered that they want free products or they want to host a party, and even said that they wanted to order. But when I messaged them, they ignore it or don't read it, but I do know that they'll still comment on the posts. Like, what do I do? Do I just, what is that word? Shame tag them in the party?
Shame tag. Oh my gosh.
I love that. I love that so much. And yes, you totally do. You don't have to shame tag them, but I will post in the party and tag them and say, hey, so-and-so, just wanted to make sure you saw I sent you a private message, and then like a cute little gift or whatever. I'll do that if I have to private message people to reach out if there's an issue with their credit card, whatever. I'm just going to tag them in the party and say, hey, I sent you a message. And then more often than not, they'll end up getting back to you because then they've seen your message. The other thing is, if you see that they did read your message but just didn't write you back, you can message them again and say something like, hey, I just want to make sure you saw my message. I know life gets crazy and Facebook has been really weird lately, so just wanted to make sure that you saw what I sent you. Saying that right in the private message. So that's another way to sort of, give them that little push to respond. And sometimes they just won't.
So Charlie, I have a question for you. What words are you using when you see that they're interested in these things and then you're reaching out to them? Like, what are you saying to them initially?
I'll tell them, hey, so-and-so, thank you for joining in on this person's party. I noticed, or I seen in your, the Google form, I can't remember how I said it, but I seen that you marked down that you want free products. And I see that you have some great stuff on your wish list. I would love to help you get that. And ask be like, how does having your own party sound to you? And then either I get ignored or they don't read it.
Are you friends with these people before you're sending a message?
Yeah.
Okay. One tip I would say would to leave it short and sweet and leave it with something they have to respond to that has nothing to do with anything about the party or buying or booking or anything. I do know that I get put, like, sometimes I even get like, I get the same way and I'm just like, I'm gonna literally go in and just blow these people up. And then I'm like, why did I just do that? But just starting the conversation out super friendly, like, even if you know that they're interested in that, literally just use, are you enjoying the party so far? Because you know that the conversation is going to get there because you're going to gear the conversation there. So it's not like you are playing dumb. I mean, we kind of are, but by just becoming like that friendly person who's reaching out to see if they're having a great time, they're probably going to respond. And then you can be like, so I noticed in the survey that you're interested in getting free products. Did you know that our hosts get spoiled with amazing rewards and most of it's free product? Is that something you would be interested in? And so that's where I think like screenshots or initially being like, this person filled out the Google form. What words should I use to reach out to them? Because that's going to be the way that we learn. And I don't want to say like the right way because there's no right and wrong way, but there are definitely more effective ways to reach out to people. And like I said, I'm always here to help. I know sometimes I don't always respond right off the bat, but I try to put my phone down occasionally and set times to do my business, which I hope you guys all do too, because if you guys get wrapped up in your business 24/7, it no longer becomes fun and it becomes a chore and it becomes something that you dread doing. So honestly, you guys, once again, off topic, like set office hours, please. For the love of God, set office hours. Because I will be 100% honest with you guys. I earned the elite trip this year. I should have been on cloud nine. I was going to Hawaii. I was at a point before Hawaii that I was like, I don't know why I'm doing this. I got so burnt out on my business because I was 24/7. Like, you guys have to be in your business and have fun, because when it stops being fun is when you guys, the magic kind of trickles out and then you don't become sloppy. I mean, it just becomes like, okay, well, I'm just going to copy paste this, and it doesn't become authentic and unique, and we're ever changing. I mean, you guys know Facebook and the whole jail thing. We are now using business pages. If you guys are not using your business page, you are going to be in jail. We have a consultant on our team right now who had not changed to business page, and she is in jail right now, and I am helping her by posting from my business page into her parties because she has no access. She can't comment, she can't post, she can't do anything. So if you guys are not using business pages, use a business page, which I'm pretty sure most of us are, but there is that. So did that help, Charlie? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
I know I tend to go like, I'll think it's short and sweet, and then it ends up being this really long message like, crap, why? How do I shorten it up? But
well,
yeah.
And the other great thing is what you can do is literally type out what you want to say and send it to me. Because most of the time I feel like we get in our own heads and we're like, that's not what I should probably say, but I'm going to say it anyway. But we think that we're saying too much sometimes, or we think that what we're saying isn't great. And like half the time you guys reach out to me, like after I'm like, okay, well, you tell me what you would say. And then you tell me and I'm like, that's great. I would maybe tweak this, but everything else is perfect. Like, say that. But sometimes like we have people who are like, I don't think I'm doing this right, but you guys are. So get out of your own heads because you guys are doing great. Did anybody else have any questions? Nobody? Bueller? I know it's late for, gosh, I have Vanessa, Charlie, Jenny, you guys are all on the East Coast. And I think a few other people, is it East Coast? It might be Central. I don't know. That's pretty awesome that the East Coasters are the ones that are on the call.
We're here.
And not
I'm already on my third 12-hour day, and I still have one more to do, and then only one day off, and then another 5 in a row.
I don't know how you do it, girl. That's brutal.
I don't either. Lots of coffee.
And a great sense of humor. That's what you have.
Nice.
Okay. Well, if there are no other questions and nobody else wants to share or do anything, then we are perfectly cutting it at 7 o'clock, like 10 o'clock your guys' time. And I just want to thank you, Jenny, so much for being on. I love you.
I love you too. I'm so glad we met. I have to tell you guys that this is truly like the best part of the business. I mean, the money is amazing. I can't complain about the money, and the flexibility of this business is fantastic. But if I were to look at the big picture, the best piece is the relationships that you build with people, and not just the people on your own team, but meeting people like Danny. It's just, I don't feel like you have this experience anywhere else. It's just so unique and incredible.
I agree. And with that, I would love to tell you guys, like, if you see anybody who you're like, I really wish I could talk to them and pick their brain, like, do it. Don't be scared, because for the longest time I was like, oh my gosh, like if I reach out to this person, they're like senior executives or they're national executives. They're not going to have time for me. They're running their own business. They've got their own thing. Like, they're too important for me. But you guys, some of my very closest friends in the business right now are those upper level leaders, because they are amazing, you guys. Like, they are willing to share, just like I am. I am willing to share with people who want me to speak with them or who want me to share my insight or anything. Like, I feel humbled that anybody even wants to talk to me and pick my brain. I honestly don't think I'm doing anything special. Like, I am just so humbled by this business, and it's been an amazing experience, and I'm going to cry, so I'm going to stop. But thank you so much, Jenny, for talking to us, doing all the things. And I will get all that stuff from her and share it in our team page. And yes, all the feels right now. Okay. Well, I hope you guys enjoy your night, and I'll get this uploaded as soon as possible. Like I said, my computer is rather slow. So hope you guys have a good night, and talk to you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.